and I will just read her words. I feel the need to write this as a British Nigerian resident of Brighton, as a parent, and not least as someone who cares deeply about the UK's liberal education system, a system which I believe is the hallmark of any democratic society. I'd like to make the following points to this committee. You will recall that on November the 4th last year, I wrote to the CYPS committee about a powerful and unifying primary school Key Stage 2 video resource, which I feel very strongly about. I sent you a link and I hope you had time to watch the video. Naturally, I understand how hard-working you all are, but as yet I've not heard back from any of you. Perhaps today will be the day. It is my hope that the committee will agree to endorse this resource and formally recommend it to the city's primary schools. Colourblindness is the approach to anti-racist education that informs the content of the Key Stage 2 video. This is a universalist approach rooted in the classic liberal tradition of equality before the law. It is an approach that promotes and emphasizes the content of a person's character over and above the color of their skin or any other immutable trait. A commitment to colourblindness is not a denial that racism exists or that there remains important work to be done to reduce and combat discrimination. I believe that the one race, the human race, message of this video resource chimes with our vibrant city today. It is fitting that voices of children from this city and of experts from our university contributed to the production of this video. Colourblindness is my creed and the creed of many parents, not just in our city, but across the UK and the world. It unites people across racial, religious and ethnic divides. The tendency to propagate so-called anti-racist beliefs that centre racial difference over anti-racist beliefs emphasising common humanity is at odds with the values of many black and minority ethnic parents. Teaching our children that they must focus on things they cannot control over and above things they can is, in my view, a recipe for despair. If our schools propagate what many of us regard as an unbalanced and harmful approach to identity and race, then at the very least, in the interest of fairness and equality, they must ensure the promotion of liberal alternative approaches as well. I am aware of other black parents who desperately want this unifying approach to how race and anti-racism are taught by this council. I will email members with full direct quotes, but respecting confidentiality and the public nature of this deputation, I will paraphrase what one mother of an 8-year-old said. The best way forward is educating our children about how we are all one. Skin colour is not a detriment. We should respect and love one another the same. Let's celebrate the diversity of our one human race. This was from a mother whose child had been called cruel names by a classmate at school, names that picked on the colour of that child's skin. But this mother does not believe her child's experience to be an indictment of daily life in our amazing city, nor on the country as a whole. I believe, as do many parents I know, that an undue partisan and biased focus on skin colour doesn't help us. Let the message be one of unity. We are all humans together. There is so much we have in common. So today, let's make a future defined by what unites us rather than what divides us. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing this video, first developed in 2006, to the attention of councillors. Unlike the training being developed by the council for staff, this is a resource aimed at pupils. Before using with pupils, individual schools should review any potential resources to ensure that they are in line with the values and the ethos of their setting and meet the learning and development needs of pupils and students. As a local authority, we can review resources to ensure that they support the principles and values of the anti-racist education strategy and are educationally sound before signposting them for use in schools. Whilst this particular resource has some strengths, Feedback from educators in schools and local authority advisors means there are elements which, as a council, we cannot endorse. Unfortunately, there are parts of this resource which are not considered to support safe practice. For example, it includes a reenactment of a serious racial incident which could be traumatizing to pupils in primary schools. The apparent message in the video that racism is only acts of individual unkindness does not recognise or explain the lived experience of our Black and ethnic minority populations who experience different and worse outcomes to their white counterparts in many areas of life. Ultimately, it's up to schools what they choose to use as a resource for pupils, and I believe this video has already been disseminated in the city, but for these reasons, the council will not be signposting schools to this resource. Does the committee agree to note the deputation?